Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Ramesh, and I'll be starting today's event. Uh, okay, welcome to today's talk. Today's talks. Okay, let me go to the next slide first. I'm sorry. Okay. So again, welcome to today's talk. We'll be talking. Today's talk topics is route to professional qualifications, and our main question to all of you is, what's next after you graduate? So Um, today's talk is organized by two organizations in APU itself. It's ISS and IMechE APU student section. My name is Aaron Ramesh, and I'll be the host of today's event. And I would like to start by giving you a general idea of what today's topic will be. Professional qualifications are vocational training courses that relate to specific industry or career paths. Some can be taken directly after completing the university, while others are aimed for professionals with several experiences who are looking to develop their career further. They are typically regulated by awarded by relevant professional bodies, and they are designed to ensure that everyone employed in a particular job meets the minimum requirements and standards of professional expertise. Professional engineer, chartered engineer, and professional technologist are among the professional qualifications aimed for graduate from any engineering field. Today we'll be talking, as in the talks, will be generally on these three types of professional qualifications as well. These professional qualifications are aimed for graduates, like I mentioned, and the professional engineer is governed by Board of Engineering Malaysia (BEM). Professional engineer, chartered engineer is governed by Engineering Council UK. Professional technologist is governed by Malaysian Board of Technologists (MBOT). This talk will be brief about each qualification and the steps needed to obtain the qualifications. The professionals will also share their own expertise on the efforts to obtain these qualifications. Now I'll share you what the agenda for today's talk will be. First is the briefing, that's being the current part right now. Afterwards will be the first talk regarding the chartered engineers, which is one of the professional qualifications. This part will, our speaker for this particular part will be Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Vinesh Thiruchelvam. The next part will be regarding professional technologist by technologist Dr. Shankar Duraikannan. And the third speaker will be talking about professional engineer by engineer technologist Dr. Lohgheswary. Afterwards, there will be vote of thanks, and there will be 5 minutes provided for question and answers between each topic. During this live streaming, you can use the comment boxes in YouTube or in Facebook to ask any questions you want regarding the Q&A session. So I'll give you some information about our first speaker. Our first speaker is please give me 1 second, okay? Sorry. Having some issues with the slide. Okay. Our first speaker is Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Vinesh Thiruchelvam, professional engineer, chartered engineer, certified energy manager, professional technologist with 20 years of experience of a mixture of engineering education, academics, operations and maintenance, faculty management, design and project management in various industries ranging from building services, property, oil and gas, district cooling plants, cogeneration power plants, and the port industry. He managed deliveries of international projects in the Maldives, India, Russia, Iran, UAE, Qatar, Saudi, Oman, Vietnam, Brunei, and Malaysia in the property sector, ports, in the property sector, ports, oil and gas and power plant industries. He was the principal engineer on the Waste to Energy Technology Transfer Project program from 2002 to 2004 under MOSTI MMHLG, head of the Westport RTG O&M department from 1998 to 2002, where he managed the faculty management, operations and maintenance programs and technical teams. Having moved to the Middle East in 2005, he focused his specialization mainly in the building service property sector, primarily in designing in project delivery of sustainable and energy efficient buildings. During his Middle East stint, he also lectured in the Masters in Energy and Masters in Sustainable Design programs at British University Dubai (BUID) and Heriot-Watt University (HWU) Dubai campuses and served in an IAP member. Upon returning to Malaysia in 2012, his primary objective has been the Dean of FCET at Asia Pacific University and to build energy and ICT expertise that will educate in parallel to developing future talent professional for the country. That's our first speaker for today. And I would like to clarify once again that he'll be talking on the topic he'll be talking on the topic of chartered engineer. We'll be having two other speakers as well for the remaining two topics. And after the talk, we'll provide 5 minutes for the Q&A session as well. If anyone has any questions, please use the comment box to ask any questions that you'd like, and we will share the comment directly to the speaker itself to get any clarification regarding the topic. I'd like to mention again that this event is organized by IASS and IMechE student section at APU. ISS is the student section in joint with IEM in Asia Pacific University. Today's talk has been the final talk for a series of talks that we've been having this past 3 to 4 weeks, and it will cap our this series of talks. Previous talks that we'd had have been regarding BIM, Building Information Management, and Statistical Processing. And today's topic is for route to professional. Today's topic is for route to professional qualifications. Like I mentioned before, the qualifications that we'll be talking about in general today will be by the chartered engineer, our chartered engineer part of, and professional technologist part and professional engineer. I would like to mention that all of these, give me 1 second, sorry. All of these professional all of these professional sectors are governed by different bodies, and they are all available for graduate students from any engineering field. The professional engineer is governed by Board of Engineers Malaysia BEM. Chartered engineer is governed by Engineering Council UK. Professional technologist is governed by Malaysian Board of Technologists MBOT. Once again, I would like to welcome all the participants who've joined. If you have missed the previous parts, today's talk is regarding professional. Uh, today's talk, I will go to that slide. Give me 1 second. Today's talk is regarding route to professional qualifications, and it's in general for what students like me. I'm an engineering student. I'm studying mechatronics in IPU as well. It's for students who are looking for a future in this. Honestly, as what we're studying, but today's talk is mainly the idea that it will answer the questions that we have. What will we do after we graduate? The first question is yes, we'll be going for a job, maybe. Some will go for higher studies and so on. But there are qualifications that actually regard you as how it will give you a better perspective of who you are. And in today's talk, once again, I will also suggest that today's speakers will be talking on three different opportunities that we have. One is professional engineer, chartered engineer, and professional technologist. I'd like to apologize for the delay that we are having. We're having some technical issues. But in the meantime, if there's any comments that you have regarding the agenda, or if you have any questions regarding how the event will be going on, you may post your question in the comment section, and then we'll be able to answer you at this time as well. Regarding any questions about the talks, we'll be having a Q&A session after each talk by the speaker. It will be for roughly 5 minutes. We'll be providing answers for the questions that you post in comment section. I would like to apologize on behalf if there are many questions and that we are not able to give answers for all the questions during the 5 minute period that we allocate. And if we believe that some of the questions are similar, we will try to answer either one. And if there are any questions that we are not able to answer during the 5 minutes that we provide, we will do our best to give a reply back to the comment itself. After this briefing, we'll be having our first talk regarding chartered engineer by Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Vinesh Thiruchelvam. The next talk will be regarding professional technologist by technologist Dr. Shankar Duraikannan. And then afterwards, the third and the final topic for today will be professional engineer by Engineer Technologist Dr. Lohgheswary. Afterwards, we'll have a short vote of thanks. And I would like to mention again that we'll be giving opportunities for Q&A. 5 minutes will be between each topic, and then you'll be able to ask your questions in the comment sections, irrespective of the channel that you are. I would like to give the biodata once again for the first speaker of today. Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Vinesh Thiruchelvam, professional engineer, chartered engineer, certified energy manager, and professional technologist. Within 20 years of experience of mixture of engineering, education, and academic operations and maintenance and facility management, design and project management, and various industries ranging from building services, property, oil and gas, district cooling plants, cogeneration power plants, and the port industry. He managed to deliver he managed deliveries of international projects in Maldives, India, Russia, Iran, UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Vietnam, Brunei, and Malaysia in the property sector, ports, oil and gas, and power plant industries. He was a principal engineer at the Waste to Energy Technology Transfer Project program from 2002 to 2004, which was under MOSTI and MHLG. Head of the Westport RPG O&M department from 1998 to 2002, where he managed the faculty management. Operations and maintenance programs and technical teams have moved After this project, he had moved to Middle East in 2005. He focused in his specialization mainly in building services, property sector, primarily in designing and project delivery of sustainable energy efficient buildings. During his Middle East stint, he also lectured in Masters in Energy and Masters in Sustainable Energy programs at the British University, Dubai, in Heriot-Watt University, HW in Dubai campuses, and served as an IAP member. Upon returning back home to Malaysia in 2012, his primary objective has been as the Dean of FCET at Asia Pacific University and to build engineering and ICT expertise that will educate in parallel to developing future talents, professional for the country. His topic for today will be Chartered Engineer, which is an international board of government governed by Engineering Council UK. Okay, so I would give the opportunity for Professor Vinesh to speak now. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, Zayan. How are you?
I'm fine. Sir, you can share your screen and then you can
Yeah, let me
continue.
share my screen here. Okay, I hope everyone can see this. So thank you, Zayan, and thank you to the student team for organizing this. Yeah, uh, I'm covering IMechE in terms of the Institute of Mechanical Engineers. So this is just a replica of what we presented today, also to the Institute of Materials Malaysia. That's why you see the same title. Yeah. Right. Just very importantly, the institution has been in existence since 1847. It is one of those uh, old and prestigious institutions that is confined only to mechanical engineers. But in our case, for our university or other universities outside there, it does not only entertain or groom mechanical engineers. Yeah, it also grooms disciplines within the mechanical portfolio. So it could be a control engineer, you could be a petroleum engineer, you could be even an electrical engineer. You can become a member of the institution. Yeah. So it is licensed under the Engineering Council UK. It is a professional engineering institution, a PEI. So in the same discipline, you'll have the Institution of Chemical Engineers, the Institution of Engineering and Technology, and so forth. It allows apprentices to engage. It allows students like yourselves to be members. Uh, of course, if you have a diploma or a TVET vocational kind of qualification, you can come in as a technician member, and then of course you can become a member as an engineer as well. So the vision is to develop engineers, promote engineering, uh, and of course inform on current trends in engineering, and
We are facing some technology. We're having some issues right now. We are not able to contact Professor Vinesh at the moment. Please give us a second to see to resolve this issue. Previously, he was talking about the chartered engineers, IMechE section, IMechE student section, IMechE, and he's a member of IMechE. And, like he mentioned before, IMechE is a very prestigious organization. It has been previously only regarded for mechanical engineers, but however, in universities and in Malaysia, the IMechE has been open for all engineering types as well, where we can become chartered engineers under IMechE itself, where regardless of which engineering you are from, whether it's petroleum or mechatronic or electrical or so on. I myself, as I am IMechE member, as we are student IMechE members, we are affiliate members. The rankings go on and so on. I think as soon as he is able to join us again, he will be explaining all the levels that you can go as well. Chartered engineer is one of them as well, and it's one of the very highly respected levels. Being as a chartered engineer, the government, the as being a chartered engineer is governed by Engineering Council of UK, and this organization has been in existence for a really long time. They provide many projects for students for their growth, and they have many projects and many qualification requirements for those students and as well as professionals who are pursuing the career of engineering. Excuse me. Uh, Hopefully, we'll be able to contact Professor Vinesh shortly, and then he will be able to get more information. We'll be continuing about IMechE. We as a student section in IMechE, we have a student section in APU under IMechE as well. We are joined compared to the IMechE organizations and IMechE sectors in Malaysia and other universities to have events such as this. Like I mentioned before, after this talk, as well as the remaining two talks, we'll be giving opportunity for question and answers, where the participants are able to ask questions in the chat boxes in the respective channel that they are using, either YouTube or Facebook Live, where you can write your question as a comment, where we'll be able to share the comment itself with the speaker and then try to clarify your doubt. We'll be providing 5 minutes between each talk for question and answers. And if we are not able to answer all the questions at that given time, we will do our best to provide you the answer perhaps later in the comment section. Or if there's a number of similar questions, we'll be asking only one question rather than repeating it so on. If you have any questions now as well, you may ask and we'll be able to provide answers later or so on. Please wait shortly as we are trying to contact our um, our speaker for today's this topic, Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Vinesh Thiruchelvam. He will be continuing the topic of chartered engineer one of the professional qualifications that on today's topic. The other two professional qualifications that we'll be talking about are professional technologist and professional engineer. I really apologize for the delay that we are having right now. We are trying to resolve the technical issue as soon as possible, and then we will be trying to continue on the talk as well. I'd like to give another introduction for today's talk. Today's talk is about professional qualifications. They are vocational training courses that relate to specific industry or career path. Some can be taken directly after completing university and graduation, while others are aimed for professionals with several experiences who are looking to develop their career future. They are typically regulated and awarded by relevant professional bodies and are designed to ensure that everyone employed in a particular job meets the minimum required standard of professional expertise. Professional engineer, chartered engineer, and professional technologist are among the professional qualifications and for graduate from any engineering field. Today we'll be also highlighting these three professional qualifications. Professional engineer is governed by Board of Engineering Malaysia BEM. Chartered engineer is governed by Engineering Council UK. Professional technologist is governed by Malaysian Board of Technologists MBOT. Since we are not able to resolve the issue with Dr. Professor Vinesh, we will be scheduling his talk later on. So for those who joined who are interested in chartered engineering, please do not leave the talk because it will come forth later on. Right now, we'll be shifting to the next speaker, who will be speaking on the topic of uh, will be speaking on the topic of professional technologist. Dr. Shankar Duraikannan, chartered engineer, professional technologist with comprehensive 20 years of expert experience in teaching electronics and telecommunication engineering for undergraduate and postgraduate students at higher education institutions of India, Rwanda, Libya, and Malaysia. He is proficient in teaching and learning activities, research project supervision, research in development, curriculum development, laboratory establishment, journal editorial work, conference organization, engineering program accreditation, and ISO audits. I will give the opportunity for Dr. Shankar to continue with the talk. Change of plans again. I'm very sorry for this. I apologize. Professor Vinesh, we are able to contact Professor Vinesh now. So we'll be continuing like planned before. He'll be talking about chartered engineer. Um, Sir, sorry for the interruption and so on. Are you able to continue, sir? You'll be sharing your screen. Okay, sir. You can share your slides, sir.
Yeah, I think I'm sharing right now, right? Am I sharing?
Yeah, okay. We can see your slides, sir.
Okay, all right. So, okay, sorry about small technical glitch just now. So I'm connected. So this is where we were. Zayan, can you help me by saying that was this covered?
Sir, we were at this slide where you were introducing IMechE, yes, and
Was it
then
this
you
slide?
mentioned about uh,
Or was it
whatever
this
the
slide?
yes, we were in the global, yes, previous
This
as
one.
well, sir.
This one. This one?
Yes, we were here, sir.
Okay. Right. Okay. So we are an institution since 1847. We are licensed under Engineering Council UK, and we are a professional engineering institution, a PEI, that caters not only for engineers but also vocational technicians who come through the vocational stream, and students like yourselves, yeah, and future apprentices. So we want to develop engineers, promote engineering, and we want to give you current trends in engineering information and knowledge, and also promote innovation. So our sponsors, some of the major ones are Dyson, Shell, Rolls Royce. Yeah, we have 115,000 members in around the world. Yeah, which includes the UK. I am the chair for Southeast Asia region. So it is one of the 7 regions outside the UK. We are very international. Within the Southeast Asian region, we have 5,724 members. We have 4 countries that have branches. Sorry, 3 countries that have branches, and 2 countries, Vietnam and Indonesia, has got representation. If you do become a member, you will start as an affiliate member, as a student member, and there are at the moment 4,608 student members in the region. Yeah. The good thing about IMechE, it is global. It has benchmarked itself against global engineering standards. So we are like the other disciplines, like chemical, civil, structures. They have their own professional institutions as well. So when you become a chartered engineer, you can also become a professional engineer by default. Yeah. So this is the route to membership. There is affiliate, associate, member, and fellow. Uh, you start as an affiliate with the as a student member, and then post graduation you move on to associate. And once you have the enough knowledge and skills and competency, you can move on to becoming a member. And you have enough gray hair like myself, you can become a fellow. Yeah, so I'm a fellow member. Now, the good thing about becoming a IMechE student member, or a member per se, is that you get to access the portal here, which gives you
Sir,
current trend.
sir, sorry, we we are only, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt, sir. We are only able to see the slide where you mentioned about Dyson and so on. Think we are not able to see the remaining slides.
why is that? Huh?
Sir, could you try to share your screen again? And while sharing, could you select your application window?
Can you see the slides now?
At the moment, sir, we are not able to see any slides.
How
Yes,
about
it has
now?
loaded. Sir, are you changing your slide? Yes, we can see the change of slide right now. Have you tried changing it to full screen? We don't see any changes at the moment.
Now,
We are only seeing the slide with membership benefits at the moment.
yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
this is the
changing?
one. No, I'm not changing it. Right.
Could
So
you
I
try
was
to?
on this slide actually. Just to go back
Sir,
to the previous slides.
yeah, sir,
This
could you
were the
try to go back
slides.
to the slide?
Yeah. So I talked
Sir,
about the membership.
we are not able to see the change slide. It's still on the tablet slide.
Can you see the slide?
I can see the VR global slide at the moment, sir, but
Okay, if
it's
I
not on full
switch,
screen. Maybe the switching in full screen is having the issue at the moment.
how about this one? Can you see now when I switch?
No, sir, we are not able to see. Yeah, now we are able to see value of being,
Okay.
but it's not in full screen. It's not in full
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. I haven't got it to full screen yet. How about this one?
Yes, we are able to see
So I
gradually.
think there's a problem with full screen. So maybe I should just stick to this mode. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
okay.
yes.
So yeah, thanks, Zayan. So just to continue, I'll just flip through these slides because we talked about it earlier. Uh, okay, I stopped here. So this is the one of the benefits of IMechE. You get to access the portal, which gives you a lot of currency in terms of engineering, technology, news, what's happening in the industry, and then all the live webinars and virtual seminars that carry on. The other thing is the actual e-library that you can access that gives you a lot of white papers, e-books, a lot of support, mentoring that happens as well. Uh, for the region in Southeast Asia, if you go to the near you web page, you can access Southeast Asia. You can get to see a lot of the activities that are happening in this region. Yeah. And this is the pathway I was talking about earlier. Just to check, Zayan, you can see this slide?
Sir, yes, I am able to
Zayan?
see the slide. Sir, the pathway slide we are able to
Can you
see.
see the slide?
Yes,
All right,
I can
good.
see the
So
slide.
just confirmation, yeah? Okay, wonderful. So this is the pathway to becoming a professional engineer. So it all starts with these three elements, right? These three major elements, which is knowledge, understanding, and competency development. Then you move on to your professional interview and you get your professional registration. But it looks so simple on one slide. But what actually happens is knowledge and understanding is basically built on the qualification that you are pursuing right now as a student. Yeah. It covers science, technology, the mechanical or mechatronics engineering that you're doing, and the maths that supports the engineering development. Now, the most important thing is that the IMechE only recognizes programs that are accredited and endorsed by the Washington Accord. And lucky enough, in APU and in many universities in Malaysia, we have that recognition. Yeah. The other thing is that by default, the program is then recognized by Engineering Council UK and also the IMechE. Now, the second part is where you build your competency, further your knowledge and skills, but also build your competency. So the competency has got a few areas that we focus on. One is the development and application of science and technology. So in development and application, it covers how you engage and involve yourself from investigative research all the way till how you practice engineering and also your leadership in terms of managing finance, resources, and things like that. Then you also use technology and engineering tools to problem solve and optimize design. Yeah. So the design is important. Yeah. Knowing design and having done design or going into production and producing a product or operations of any field plants or things like that, or decommissioning or commissioning or construction work. These are all areas where you can apply problem solving and optimization skills. Lastly, of course, playing around with mechanical elements such as devices, machines, structures, processes, and any form of control systems helps in your development of competency under the work experience sector. Yeah. So, are you ready? Yeah, you've done the first thing right. You're pursuing an engineering degree and you're pursuing a mechatronics or a mechanical degree or anything which is related. You are already having the mindset and characteristics of change and innovation, being creative, problem solving, critical thinking. You're building your technical credibility. Yeah, you understand finance and how commercialization works. Yeah, and you're committed and you're building on a lot of the other characteristics, yeah, teamwork, ethical thinking, and stuff like that. And that are important variables in moving forward towards professional registration. Uh, finding the right membership. Obviously, you guys will have a degree, so which means that you will move on to becoming a chartered engineer. Yeah. Uh, so, do you think you meet the requirements? Yeah. You know, academic reviews usually done onto the qualifications. If you are already your program or your qualification is already recognized by IMechE, then you don't have an issue at all. Then you move on to the next piece of attainment, which is the continuous professional development. Yeah, there are qualification checkers in the HQ, and then there are also quick reviews done by my colleague in the Malaysian office, Mr. Zen Teng. Yeah. So again, the pathway is this, and this is the route to becoming a professional engineer. Of course, there are other categories as well, which I don't have to share with you because you guys are all degree students. But if you're doing a diploma, then you would go towards becoming an incorporated engineer. Yeah. Uh, so, how do you develop your competence? Yeah, okay. So within the UK spec, there are five core areas. Yeah. That you have to develop. And I explained a little bit about it just now, but it's sectored into competence A, B, C, D, E. So A covers knowledge and understanding, B, practical applications, C, leadership, D, communications and interpersonal skills, and the last one is E, which is professional conduct. So, how do you manage meeting the competence requirements? So, A is simple, right? A is knowledge and understanding. So, if you know technology, you've been involved in some process usages, you know how to reduce cost, optimize design, you are dealing with operations and maintenance, you're working on new projects, you will deploy some form of engineering design or development. So that covers knowledge and understanding. The second part is practical application. This is where you get your hands dirty. You do a lot of design work using of tools, calculations, design work, drawings, and stuff like that. But also you do a lot of research work and investigative research and things like that. How you break down problems into sub problems and find the root cause analysis works. Yeah. Third one is leadership and management. Here it involves project management. It involves managing project finance, costs, big budgets, also managing people. Yeah, in terms of resources. Communications is important. Of course, IMechE being a UK-based professional institution, the English language is primary. And last one is, of course, your CPD, how you develop your professional continuous development and also conduct the ethics. Additionally, it's very important to focus on health, safety, and environment. Yeah, these are areas that form good engineering practices in the future as well. So that forms, in summary, your route to becoming a professional engineer. All right. Uh, so professional review interviews happen at level 1 to level 4. We sort of define the candidate as level 1 person who's aware, level 2 some sort familiar, level 3 skilled, and level 4 expert. So you get a score from 1 to 4 kind of thing. Yeah. And that's how, in summary, you get to your again your professional registration in terms of your scorecard. Now, the support provided by IMechE in the region is we actually through Mr. Zen, yeah, my colleague, we actually help you to write your applications up. We have one-to-one virtual sessions to help you put in your application, and we have a review of the formal sessions face to face as well, and we help you prepare for your interview. So all of that is there, and yeah, so these are slides which I got from Zen actually, and I have presented this on my with him as well. So in summary, uh, that's all I have in terms of my presentation this afternoon. So I want to pass it back to Zayan. Are you there? Zayan?
So you're able to hear me, right?
Yeah, now I can hear you. So that's it. Any questions from anyone?
Okay, so I'll check right now. Okay. I have some private questions that I've been received. So, um,
Okay,
uh, one of the questions that I've received, like for interview process, you mentioned that you'll be assisting the particular person in one-to-one sessions and so on, right? And the proposals and so on.
that's right.
So,
Yep,
yeah, okay. So, one of the questions were like, there are major students that are international here as well, right? And
that's
some
right.
of them
Yeah,
are working here and so on. Some will be working in the Asia Pacific region in their own countries and as well, right? So if there's any way for them to have any one-to-one sessions in the future or so on, which body that do they have to actually communicate with? This is one
yeah.
question.
So if they are in that region, right, it depends where. So they are if they are in, say, for example, India or Sri Lanka, they fall under the South Asia region. If they are in, say, the Middle East or Pakistan, they fall under the Middle East and Africa region. If they're working in Malaysia or Singapore, then they fall under the Southeast Asia region. So,
Okay, so
and I'm always here to help anyone connect. So let's all connect. Yeah.
connections are very important, right, sir, for future references for it, either in career guidance as well. So I'll share one of the questions. Are you able to see? It's the button here.
Yeah.
It's a question by Rohit Udvani. He mentions
Okay.
that. So are you able to see the question? Okay. The question, sir, is I would like to stay within the field of
Yeah. I think.
bioengineering,
Yeah. I think I
connect with.
understand the question. So basically, a lot of engineers, when they qualify, not necessarily they work in the discipline that they are qualified in. They may go into areas where it is not fully in their field of expertise. For example, if you're a mechatronics engineer and you're expected to go into areas of controls or robotics or manufacturing, but you end up becoming, say, for example, a sales engineer, or for example you start working in as a maintenance engineer and you're not fully developing yourself. That can happen. It has also happened to me before. So it doesn't stop you from going through the IMechE in terms of building your knowledge and skills, yeah, in terms of learning the current trends in engineering, and then finding ways to get yourself mentored so that you end up being prepared and having enough baggage to become a chartered or professional engineer. Yeah. So that doesn't stop you. So having that opportunity to be part of a professional uh, body allows you access, and that's what you want. That is the main thing which is important, the access. Yeah. All right.
Okay, sir. We'll move on to the next question.
Sure.
This question is by Gabriel Joshua. And his question is, how much would the costs be for professional registration?
Right. Okay. So for a student, it is free, and that's the best news you can ever have. And that's the first step, right? So as students, it is free. As soon as you graduate, your status of membership cannot remain as a student. It has to change, right? So uh, it's best that you convert into becoming an associate. Then there's a cost to it. Yeah. Right. And then as you move on to becoming a chartered engineer, of course, there's more cost to it. But by that time, you'll be working in a lot of good MNCs and institutions. They cover the costs or they bear the cost for annual subscription. But as a student, for now, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For affiliate member, right, sir? I myself, as an affiliate member, and the registration process was quite easy.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Great.
so the next question is by Rabba Anakacheri. So what's the advantages for computer engineering students in IMechE as an affiliate member?
Right. Good question. Yeah. The computer engineering student should by right, I'm being honest here, should join IET, because that's more leaning towards computer engineering. But if you want to join IMechE, there is no harm. There is no harm. Because at the end of the day, you want to become a total engineer, right? If you're doing computer engineering, you are basically working with hardware and software that is going to control something, and that something is usually a rotating equipment or something, a static equipment. It doesn't matter, but it's machinery, and the back end is where the computer engineer comes in. He does all the programming, the hardware, the RTUs, the controls, the remote controllability, and more of the software development on the back end side. Yeah. So why not? Computer engineer can become a student member in IMechE. It doesn't stop you, but preferably in IET membership. Yeah.
So better opportunities in IET, but however,
Correct.
IMechE
Yes.
also gives opportunities, right, sir? Okay, sir.
Yes.
I'll end the Q&A session for now. Thank you for your time. We'll be moving on with the next speaker. So, if
All
there's
right.
any final comment that you want to give to the participants,
No, just it's as Zayan said just now, right? It's very easy to become a student member. So your academic liaison officer for APU is Dr. Arun. So
yes.
ping him an email, and we'd like you to become members, yeah, student members. And as soon as you become a student member, you get that access. I want to repeat that access to knowledge and loads and loads of information from the portal, and that is beyond value of money because it's free anyway at the end of the day. So go for it. Yeah, go for it. Right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for the invite, and have another a great session with the other speakers as well. Yeah.
I would like to add to your comments. The IMechE student section is also there to assist Dr. Arun Deyallo in any registrations for affiliate members or any competitions or events that are held by IMechE joint partners in this international or inter-university as well. So if there's anything, you can let either me or, like Sir mentioned, Dr. Arun, or any of the IMechE student section members that you are aware of, and we'll help you with all the registrations and so on. Thank you very much for your time, sir. I will continue
Okay.
with the
Thank
next.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very
sir.
much.
Okay, so I hope that we all got some more information about chartered engineering and how it's going to benefit either us if we chose to be a chartered engineer in the future. The next is the speaker. The next speaker is Dr. Shankar Duraikannan. Like I mentioned before, he'll be speaking on professional technologies. I'll give a short briefing about Sir again. Uh, he is a chartered engineer, professional technologist with comprehensive of 20 years of experience in teaching electronics and telecommunication engineering for undergraduate and postgraduate students at higher education institutes in India, Rwanda, Libya, and Malaysia. Proficient in teaching and learning activities, research project supervision, research and development, curriculum development, laboratory establishment, journal editorial works, conference organization, engineering program accreditation, and ISO audits. I'll give the opportunity for Dr. Shankar to continue with the topic of professional technologist. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. How are you, Ryan? Fine.
I'm fine, sir. Are
Thank
you
you.
able to hear us properly, right? Hear me
Yeah.
properly? Okay.
Yeah.
You may continue. Please, you'll be sharing your slides, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm just sharing my slide.
Okay, sir.
Just give me a second.
So we're
Okay.
able to see your slides.
Right. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Can I start?
Yes, you may, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this session. I'll keep my session very short and very simple, exactly related to your professional affiliation with Malaysian Board of Technologists, shortly called as MBOT. So my talk will be more focused to your professional affiliation with MBOT as professional technologists and certified technicians. Right. So this will be my agenda of my talk. I'll be going through what is MBOT, what is the function of MBOT, and what are the technological fields that is recognized by MBOT, the statistics of MBOT, the number of professional technologists and certified technicians who are registered with MBOT, and how to become a certified technician and professional technologist with MBOT. Right. Okay. You all are engineers. Most of you who are attending are engineers, and maybe there are technologists, and also there are people from IT, people from science, people from diploma, and there are some skilled certification people maybe attending this. Okay, it's all for you. Okay, right. What is technologist? Basically, Act 768 defines the scope of technologist as operation related to the scope of work as operation related to product development, manufacturing, testing, commissioning, and maintenance. So if you are a professional involved in technological based jobs such as design, construction, inspection, testing, maintenance, and management, then you belong to this technological society. Right. We are going to talk about what is MBOT. Basically, MBOT is instigated by the 10th Malaysian Plan recommendations. Okay, 10th Malaysian Plan is a plan for a 5-year plan for the year between 2011 and 2015, and it is the Malaysian Board of Technologies is the result of collaboration between MOSTI. MOSTI is Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of HR, KPLB, which basically a Malay abbreviation of a Malay ministry, which translates to Ministry of Rural Development, and KBS, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and KKR is Ministry of Works. Okay, so it's MBOT was a result of the collaboration between all these ministries, and it was established through the act called as Technologist and Technician Act 2015. The act is simply named as Act 768. The main function of MBOT is to register and recognize professional technologists and certified technicians. Right. So when we talk about what MBOT does or what is the function of MBOTs, basically it is to recognize technologists and technicians as professionals and registered qualified technicians. When I say qualified technicians, people who have Malaysian skill certificate of level 3 up to advanced diploma, and to register certified technicians who are qualified technicians with work experience more than 3 years, graduate technologists who have a bachelor degree in technological related areas, and if a graduate technologist with 3 years of experience can be is registered as a professional technologist. Apart from recognizing and registering professional technologists and certified technicians, MBOT also helps in professional development and with the training programs for the registrants, and also it conducts assessments on technology and technical programs in Malaysia. Also, the function extends to regulation of ethics, conduct and ethics for technologists and technician professionals. Right. So, MBOT is less than 5 years old. It started in 2017. Okay. There are 23 recognized technological field to get registered for yourself to get registered with MBOT, which extends from electrical and electronics technology, information and computing technology, chemical technology, telecommunication and broadcasting technology, biotechnology, building and construction technology, resource-based survey and geomatics technology, manufacturing and industrial technology, agro-based technology, cyber security technology, transportation and logistic technology, material science technology, marine technology, maritime technology, atmospheric science and environmental technology, green technology, oil and gas technology, automotive technology, aerospace and aviation technology, food technology, nanotechnology, nuclear and radiological technology, art design and creative multimedia. It's not limited to this, it will expand depending on the evolution of the technological field. Right. So when we look into MBOT, even though MBOT was initiated in 2015 and started in 2017, as of February, there are 20,142 graduate technologists registered with MBOT, 3,639 qualified technicians, 8,498 professional technologists registered with MBOT, and 830 certified technicians, and 33,000 plus MBOT registrants. So this is the number of professionals registered with MBOT as of February. Right. When we look into MBOT registration, there are two categories of registration. One for bachelor, for graduates. You can register as a graduate technologist, and with the registration as a graduate technologist, and if you have experience of 3 years prior to the registration or after the registration, you are qualified to register yourself as professional technologist, or you can promote yourself as professional technologist. And the next registration is qualified technician, which is mostly for skilled certificate and diploma certificate holders. And after 3 years of experience, with 3 years of experience, the qualified technician becomes a certified technician. Right. So we will go through the two pathway with two categories of registration with MBOT. One is certified technician. The minimum requirements of certified technician is the first thing is you have to register yourself with MBOT to become a qualified technician. The minimum requirement is you should have a skill certificate of level 3. Basically, this skill certification is from the Department of Skill Development. There are 5 levels of skill certification, so you should have minimum of skill certification of level 3. This skill certification can be a formal education based or informal skill development based, like you go as an apprentice or you have 3 years of work experience, you are considered as a skilled person in that field of technology, area of technology, which you are affiliated to. If you are an electrician working as an electrician, or if you have done an apprenticeship and you have 3 years of, and you have a skill certification of level 3, then obviously you are eligible for it, and up to your advanced levels, advanced diploma levels. Okay, so it is recognized by the board. So if you go into the website, you can find out what is the minimum requirement. Okay, so you make an application for a qualified technician first with this minimum requirement, and when the board makes a decision, and if you pass through the decision of the board, when the board finds you qualified to be a qualified technician, you turn out to be a qualified technician by authorized by MBOT. Okay, the fees for this is basically everyone will be looking at. Finally, at the end of the day, we will be looking at what is the fee I have to pay for it. Okay, right. So the fee for this is 30 ringgit Malaysia. This is one-time fee, and once when you are recognized as a qualified technician, then you are a qualified technician because it is based on your certification you hold. Okay, academic credentials or certifications you hold. Okay, right. So the processing fee is 20 ringgits and the registration fee is 10 ringgits, which is quite less. Okay, right. Once when you become a qualified technician, and if you have 3 years of experience before becoming a qualified technician or after becoming a qualified technician, you are eligible to apply for a certified technician. Okay, so any diploma holder or any skill certificate holder with a qualified technician recognition from MBOT is eligible for applying for a professional certification, what is called a certified technician. Okay, so you go through the professional assessment, you apply, your application goes through a professional assessment, and the decision is made by the board. And if you pass through the professional assessment and you go through a final application for a certified technician, and you sit for a final interview. And once when you pass through an interview, you are a certified technician. So for the assessment of your application, it charges 300 ringgits, and for your certified technician registration, it charges around 200 ringgits. Right? So altogether, when you it's just a 3-step process. You have a skill certificate or you have a diploma. You can register yourself with MBOT as a qualified technician in the field of your technology, and then you can further, after acquiring 3 years of experience prior to the registration or after registration, you can apply for certified technician and you can pass through the interview to become a certified technician. Coming to professional technologist, you are required to have a bachelor degree level 6 of MQF recognized by the board of technologists. So a bachelor degree in IT, a bachelor degree in science, a bachelor degree in engineering, any technological, in any 23 technological field which we have already highlighted, you are eligible to apply for a graduate technologist. So you put in your application as a graduate technologist with your supporting documents that is required, basically your degree certificate. Then the board decides, look on your minimum requirement, fulfillment of minimum requirement, and you become a graduate technologist. After becoming a graduate technologist with 3 years of experience as a graduate technologist, so the experience still can be prior to your application or after your application as graduate technologist, you submit your application for assessment for your professional technologist. So the assessment is done by the board, and obviously there's an assessment fee of 600 ringgits. Then you pass through the assessment. Further, you sit for an interview, final interview, and you become a professional technologist. So again, it's a 3-step process, and it's a very easy process. I have gone through the process with all my experience. I tell you, I've gone through a chartered engineering, and I know the pathway of IR, of all the 3 process of your professional certification. Professional technologist is most simpler. Like you log into your website, the website of MBOT, you fill in your registration, and you upload all your application supporting documents. The process is initiated, and you are guided step by step through the process. So it's a 3-step process. You register yourself as a graduate technologist, you sit for the assessment, and once when you pass through the assessment, you become a final interview, you go for a final interview, and then after the interview, you become a professional technologist. Right? Dr. Vinesh has talked exhaustively on what is the benefits of becoming a professional member. Okay, I just keep it simple. It elevates your what you are in the professional society. You don't need to go and talk to people about what you have done, what you have achieved. The title you bear in front of your name and after your name is the address for you in the technological and engineering society. So you get a huge recognition and acceptance in the society, and you can move across. It provides a very good platform for talent mobility. You can move across industries, and even when you are moving across countries, these titles, these professional registrations, these professional certifications help you to get into the career which you are looking for. And all these professional societies provide a very good platform for lifelong learning, and they have a lot of technological fora and programs to improve your skill sets. So I keep it simple. These are the benefits, and there are a lot more benefits which you can harvest becoming a professional technologist. And obviously, when you are looking at going into a job, you also find some monetary benefits if you become a professionally certified member of a society. That's all. Thank you. That's all from me. If you have any questions, probably you can ask me.
So thank you for the very brief but very informative talk that you gave regarding MBOT.
Thank you, Zayan.
Okay, we do have some questions. Okay, sir. Just give me 1 second. I'll try to share them with you. Okay, one question that I've got, it was a private message, was what are the main benefits for joining MBOT as in for currently a student? Like you mentioned, mainly you were about after working processes or 3 years of experience or before working, going for the field of engineering as a career path, right? So I think
Okay.
he mentioned that the part where as a student, is there any benefit of joining MBOT?
Okay. As of now, MBOT do not have a student membership like you have for IEM and other things. Okay, so the minimum is they have an like unlike IMechE and IET, MBOT do not have a student membership. So they are very young board and an exclusive board for technologists and technicians. So you can only after your graduation you can register yourself with the MBOT. So there is no student membership as of now. Okay, and when you are registered with MBOT as a graduate member, you keep an accountability of your what do you call your experience, and there is a recognition. Basically, all these titles, whatever you get as an TS or IR or a TC stands for Certified Technician, is a recognition of your skill development through your experience you walk through in your work. So basically, all these titles will just let know people that you are an experienced person in the field of your expertise. So that's the thing. So
So, and the other
you
question
start as
was,
a graduate member.
sorry?
You start as
Oh
a
yeah.
graduate member. You don't start as a student member with MBOT.
So the other question that I've received is, you mentioned that it's very easy, like compared to the other
Yes.
professional
Yes.
processes, that it's very easy for a student to register, raising a graduate to register, right? So
Yes.
the question I've received is that how long, perhaps in duration, does it take for the process to become a technologist?
Okay. Like for a graduate member, most probably it will take 4 weeks to 6 weeks to become a graduate technologist. So when you submit your application, and all these applications on MBOT is mostly is online based. You just log into the website, you key in your data's informations on the registration page, and then you upload your required document, basically your degree certificate. That's what you require to submit it. So once when you submit it, how long will you take to key in your information? The information that is required is also very simple and straightforward. Okay, so that's what
The
it is, a very simple and straightforward process, and it is all completely online based process. So there is no pay. I think it's a paper free registration. That's what it's with my experience I'm talking. So you log in, you give in your information, you submit the required documents. It will ask for the required documents. You submit your required scan document. The decision will be taken within 4 to 6 weeks, and then you become a graduate technologist. And for your professional technologist, you should have 3 years of experience after or before becoming a graduate technologist. So if you have 3 years of experience with your bachelor degree, you can register yourself with professional technologist. So that will take a minimum of 6 months. The first process is you go through the assessment, it will take a minimum of 6 months.
Yes. So
So
another question is it only recognized in Malaysia or is it internationally recognized as well? You mentioned that it's a very new
okay,
organization.
all professional. See, basically, if you look at it, there are different professional bodies for different professions, right? For engineers, you have Board of Engineers Malaysia. For doctors, you have a medical council, right? So this is a board which is for technician and technologist exclusively. So this is a board as all other boards of Malaysia. So it in no way, because they wanted to have in 2011 to 2015 when they were doing the Malaysian plan. Basically, the Malaysian 10th Malaysian plan is to make Malaysia as a high income society. Unless and until you develop a very skilled, big, huge skilled workforce, and if you don't elevate your skilled workforce, then you can never become an high income country or a high income society, right? So the recognition of a skilled workforce. Not only that, the very important thing now is when you want to cope up with industry 4.0, then obviously you should have a well-trained technical workforce and with a lot of skill sets for the present, and as well as they should be ready for the future, right? So everybody is moving into industry 4.0 and somebody is already talking about industry 5.0. Okay, so you should have a very skilled workforce. So it's not only engineers, it's not only it includes. So when I go through all the process of design, all the way from design to a finished product, so design to reality, that's what people talk. Okay, it integrates, right, a lot of people, starting from a simple electricians or plumbers or anybody building. If you talk about a building, it includes every skill set of every individuals who work on that technological field, right? So a recognition is required for every individual who is working on the technological field. That's how they came out with an exclusive technician and technological board, apart from Board of Engineers Malaysia. So this is an exclusive board, exclusively for technicians and technologists, and it is as good as Board of Engineers Malaysia, Medical Council, Bar Council. You talk about any other boards of Malaysia. There can be quite a lot of boards known to me. Almost like you have board for architects, you have board for town planning, you have board for chemists, you have board for counselors, registered counselors. Okay, so this is one more board equivalent to all other boards of Malaysia. So I can say that it stands on par with Board of Engineers Malaysia.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I think we answered some many questions and so on. Thank you for giving, like I mentioned again, a very detailed explanation of how and what is. Okay, so
Thank you.
we will move on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Zain, and thank you,
Thank you, sir.
IASSS
So is there any
and
comments that you want to give before I move on?
uh, okay. My simple comment is this: register yourself as a student member. You are member of this engineering and technological society from the day one you join an engineering course. So register yourself as a student member with any society, engineering society, IMechE or IET or BEM. If you are Malaysian, I highly recommend to register yourself with IEM, so that it will be easy to get yourself into BEM and your professional certification process. And if you are an international student, register yourself with IET or IMechE, so that which is a globally recognized university or institution. So register yourself so that you can keep on par yourself with a professional society which you belong. Okay? Right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next will be our last speaker for today, the last topic of professional engineer. Engineer technologist Dr. Lohgheswary Nagaratnam. She is a professional engineer, a chartered engineer, a professional technologist with 17 years of experience of a mixture of academics and industry. She has graduated as a BE engineer on honors in electronics, bachelor's in from University of Technology Malaysia in 2002. Masters in Mathematics from University Kebangsaan, Malaysia in 2004, and PhD in Engineering Education from University Kebangsaan, Malaysia in 2018. From 2004 until 2018, she was teaching mathematics and engineering mathematics for engineering department, mathematics department, business department, and information technology department. She has published 21 journals and one book. She is also a journal reviewer. She is also involved in research projects, supervision, curriculum development, and engineering program accreditation. She is a panel of accreditation from a Malaysian Board of Technology, MBOT. She is also a panel of research and development for Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI. Her research includes engineering education, engineering mathematics, and RAS model. She also conducts training in RAS model. I'll give the opportunity for her to now continue with her presentation. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Zain.
Yes, you can share your slides. You'll be using slides, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Please share your slides.
Yes. Can you see my slides?
Yes, I'm able to see your slides. Will you be using slideshow?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you're able to see properly.
Right. Okay. Good day to everyone. I am Engineer Technologist Dr. Lohgheswary. So I will brief you on the route to become a professional engineer. So this is my path. So I became a technologist in 2020, professional technologist. Then I got my professional engineer in also 2020 and my chartered engineer in 2020 as well. So I'm a Bachelor of Honors in Electronics. Then I got my master's and my PhD. All right, let's move on to the introduction. Now, professional engineer is one who registered under Section 10(2) of the Registration Engineers Act 1967, which was revised on 2015. So, a professional engineer shall take up employment which carry out or perform engineering services. A professional engineer describes himself as Insignia, IR, Insignia, before his name. Let's say we can say Insignia Lohgheswary, or you can use PEng after his name or her name, like Lohgheswary PEng. And then he or she shall display a sign or a board, a card, or a stamping of its professional engineer. Okay, now this is statistics taken from BM website. Okay, these are the registered individual. So if you look here, we have the most is graduate engineer, okay, about 150,000. And then if you are concerned on professional engineer, we have about 4,821 professional engineer and about 9,056 professional engineer with practicing certificate. Now short form here, we will just use it as a PE, and this one is PEPC. Now the difference between PE and PEPC is PEPC is the one who stamp or chop the design work. Okay. Now this is also statistics from the BM website as of yesterday. So these are the consultancy company registered with BEM. Right, now move on to the route to become a professional engineer. Okay. Now we have three routes. One is from BEM, whereby you have to sit for a professional assessment examination. Okay, that is a route A. Now you can get this information from the BM website. And route B is a professional engineer from the overseas regulatory body. Okay, could be example, could be a CEng. Or the third route is you are a corporate member of IEM. So now you're a student member, right? Once you, upon your graduation, you can apply for graduate member in IEM, and then from there you can become a corporate member of IEM. And with the corporate member of IEM, you can apply for your professional engineer. Okay, let's look at the route A. So route A is from directly from BEM, that's the Board of Engineers. No, all the routes, route A or route B or route C, there is only two process. Okay, so here the process one for route A, which is from BM, is you need at least 3 years practical experience working as an engineer, in which 2 years in general training. Okay, general becoming a general training means in the respective engineering field, and 1 year professional career development or having a training, in which from these 2 years, 1 year of training must be under a professional engineer who is same branch as you. Okay, so basically, whether if let's say somebody in working in Malaysia, so you need to work 3 years. Okay, let's say there is a case that you worked in overseas. You see, minimum 1 year you must work here, and then you submit your practical experience summary. And then this is your first step. You must have 3 years practical experience, and the second is you need to pass the professional assessment examination. This is a written examination conducted by the Board of Engineers. So with these two steps, you can get your PH. That is for Route A. Now Route B. Now Route B is a professional engineer from the overseas regulatory body. So first step, also you see I have only two steps here. Now the first step is you must pass the code of conduct assessment. Okay, this is a written examination, okay, which is under the Registration of Engineers Act 1967, which was revised 2015. Okay. Once you passed, then you submit to BEM your professional engineer certificate, which is the regulatory body of another country. Example, if you have your CEng cert, so you submit to BM. You submit this upon passing your exam. Okay, what does BEM does? BEM will check the status of the professional engineer's certificate, whether it is equivalent to BEM's professional engineer. Okay, if yes, then you need to submit a summary of practical experience. Now, this is minimum 1 year. So what you need to do, you need to work, and then the practical experience must be typed in the company letterhead, which you did your practical or you worked in that company, and it must be certified by a professional engineer who is in the same branch where you did the practical experience from. So you must find a company which has a professional engineer, and then you go and do your what you have to go and have your practical experience. Now that is for Route B. Now Route C is from becoming a corporate member of IEM. Okay. Okay. Now, so first step is you must pass the professional assessment examination. Now here from IEM, they have two type of examination. One is written examination, and the other one will be a interview. Once you pass this, you will become the corporate member of IEM. Okay, from graduate member, you'll become a corporate member of IEM, which stands for the Institution of Engineers Malaysia. Then you need to have a 3 years practical experience, and then you have to do it a summary of that, in which 2 years general training and 1 year professional training development or career development or training. Okay, or in which the 1 year training must be in Malaysia under a PH, which is in the same branch. So this from IEM also, the practical experience summary must be same like your route A, that is for the from the BM. So I have explained the three routes. Now let's move on with the registration. Okay, now from route A with the PAE results, that means you sit for an exam from the BEM itself. Okay, you obtain the results. Or from route B, you have your professional engineer certificate, example CEng certificate. Or route 3, you pass the exam and interview conducted by IEM, and then you get your corporate member, and you will be given a MIEM certificate. Now, either which route also, you get the results or a certificate with the summary report of 3 years practical experience, and then you attach your passport size photograph, and then you need to pay a processing fee, which is 50 ringgit, and the registration fee, which is 300 ringgit, not refundable, to BEM, and then you get your PNG or your insignia title. Okay, so this is the summary of registration. So simple method, you get the results, you get your summary report, you must have your passport size photo and the processing fees. Okay, so you can apply is the same. You can be it applies for Malaysian or non-Malaysian also. So if you're a Malaysian or a non-Malaysian, you can go from route A, same like from Malaysian also or non-Malaysian also from route C or from route B, which has a professional engineer certificate from the regulated body from other country. Okay, now this is from the registration. Now let's look at the training requirements. Now, I have been telling there is a 3 years of training, right? So what is it all about? Now, the training should be, you have to be done, you have to be engaged with some planning, conducting a project, planning of a project, designing in the project, you execute the project or in the management team. Okay, you have to have this experience for about 3 years. So basically, if 3 years, you will have around should have like more than one project, or if it's a mega project, then you can have one single project. Must cover all these element. Now, as for me, I was in 2 years of industry, so I was involved in 4 projects. So I submitted my summary of experience based on 4 projects. Okay, now other than that, okay, these 3 years experience can obtain in another way also, whereby you do an engineering research for 3 years. Okay, which means okay, what research we can do for 3 years should be a PhD research in your own field. Let's say I'm an electronic engineering basic degree, right? General degree. So my PhD must be in electronics engineering. Okay, then you can submit this as your training requirement. Okay. Or if let's say somebody asks, if I have masters 2 years, then how? Okay, if you have masters 2 years, then you work as an engineer for another 1 year. So with this 2 years of engineering research and 1 year of working experience, you can submit your registration. Or we also have the third path. This is for lecturing candidates. I came from here. So minimum 2 years in lecturing in your own field, okay, must be in your own field in engineering, and 1 year practical experience. Minimum 1 year you must work in industry. And what do you need to cover? In that 1 year practical experience, you still need to have your planning, designing, execution, or managerial work. Okay, that's all about the training requirements, which you have 3 options to take it from. So that's all my presentation on route to become an engineer. So thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you, ma'am, for the talk that you gave regarding how to become a professional engineer. Are you able to hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Um, some of the questions that we received are very similar from previously as well. Like one of the questions that we received, I'll ask them in a bunch because they're very similar. How long would be the duration, if there's any costs, or if it's applicable, like internationally recognized and so on. As in for like, I think that question is repeating more often because there are a lot of participants from here who are not Malaysian. And I think those who are interested to join, if it's any relevance for them, because if they plan to work abroad and so on, not in Malaysia, I mean.
You mean how long duration to get a PNG, is it?
Yeah, One of the question is how long the duration to get it. The other question is if there are any costs to bear. One more question is there for student application. Is it possible, such as chartered engineering? And the other one, like I mentioned, is I think I mentioned I think I mentioned both of them
Okay.
for.
Now,
I will go to the
first,
rest of the later.
okay, now let me do one by one. The fees, as I explained, it is a Malaysian or non-Malaysian. The processing fees is 50 ringgit and the application fee is 300 ringgit. So Malaysian and international non-Malaysian is the same rate, and every year you have to renew your license. Okay, 31st December, your license will be due. So on the before 31st December, you need to renew. If you're 60 years and below, you pay 200 ringgit to renew your license. And if you're more than 60 years, you pay only 100 ringgit to renew your license. Okay, so for the experience, as I said, if you are a chartered engineer, with the chartered engineer, you must have 1 year training experience in Malaysia with the professional engineer in your same branch, in your same company that you have, and then you submit your practical experience using the company letterhead, and then you can get your professional engineer title. Okay, or if you are a student member now in IEM, then after your graduation, you will become a graduate member, and then you work like 3 years experience in an engineering firm, but must be the same field. Okay, you cannot be an electronics engineer and then you shift to a mechanical field, and then you cannot say that that is it's not applicable. Okay, same field. Then with that 3 years experience as a engineer, then you will go through an interview and examination. Then you pass it, you become a corporate member. From there, you apply through IEM. Okay, if you're from IEM route, you only submit your MIEM cert and your summary of the practical experience to IEM. IEM will forward to BEM to get the approval. Yes, any more?
I think I will limit questions for that for
Okay.
now. Ma'am, is there any comment that would you like to give the participants before we finish?
Yes, okay. If you are a Malaysian, I will strongly encourage you to take up, work as a, if you want to get professional qualifications, you will start with going to industry which is related to your field, get the sufficient number of years experience, apply for IR, CEng and professional technologies. Okay. If you are a student from a foreign country, if you plan to go back to your country, then CEng is necessary for you. And if you are planning to stay here, then you can consider applying for PEng, which is a professional engineer and also professional technologies. And the examination, like for like Prof Vinesh mentioned, right, all the competency, 5 competency, A, B, C, D, and E, that is the 5 competency will be applied to in your when you go through the route C. Okay, route C, when you're writing your summary of practical experience, okay, it's the same competency. So one can apply for PEng and also apply for the CEng at the same time. So that's how I did. Okay, I applied the same time, then I got it in the same year.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. I will now begin with the next part, the vote of thanks. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank all of the participants who've joined, all of the people who've joined from different channels, YouTube Live and Facebook Live, of the students who've registered with us for the event as well, of the lecturers who have assisted us as well, and the speakers as well for giving your time, making time in their busy schedules to come join, to for in participants' case to learn for what it's beneficial for their future. I hope you learned many things today about the 3 professional routes that are available for graduate students. And I would like to show my gratitude for all the speakers that have given their time, showed their experiences, given their advices, given how the processes to us for us to be professional engineers. And I'm pretty sure that all the speakers that have actually participated in today's talk have went through a lot of work and effort, but they have given their experience so that it seems very easy for us to also achieve such levels of qualifications. Um, uh, for now, um, okay, sorry for that glitch. I would like to thank you for the organizations of ISS, IMechE, and for the lecturers, all the ALOs and so on, for assisting us to have this talk. I would like to also thank once again for Miss Lohgheswary, Dr. Lohgheswary, for actually assisting us with the series of talks that we've been having. Right now, you'll see a QR code where we request for you to actually share us your feedback regarding the event. And then I would also like to mention that we'll be sharing afterwards how to join the IEM and how to join the IMechE affiliate member posters and so on, and which would be an assistance for you to join either one of these uh, opportunities, because at the moment students are not able to join the other two. So in this case, for you to become an IE member and to become an affiliate member in IMechE, we'll be providing some information as well. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you all had a wonderful time and learned something new today. Please do scan the QR code and leave us a feedback. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.